Hello, listeners. This is Get to Know an RSO on 89.1 WIDR FM. My name is Dan, and today we have some very special guests from the Western Herald. Hello, Cori, and hello, Eddie.
Hi, Dan.
So, how's your first weeks of class been coming back to school? I know it's been a long summer for everyone, especially for the student media group moving to the new student center.
Yeah, it's been equally exciting and stressful. We had a really great first couple of print editions come out. Bronco Bash went really good. I'm super excited to see like the new Western Herald team and what that's going to look like this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the personal side of like classes and stuff, it was a lot to jump back into, but I'm happy to be back for sure.
Like Cori said, with moving in and everything, just stressful and exciting. But on a personal side, it's been good just getting back into everything, getting into classes and back into work and getting to a football game and all that fun stuff. So it's been fun.
Oh yeah, and especially if I'm not mistaken, we won that game, first home game, first football game, I think for the whole year. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, we did. We won that first week.
It's a great start to the year.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to start with you, Cori. I'd like to get to know a little bit more about you before we talk more about the Western Herald. So can you tell me where you're from?
I am from Brighton, Michigan, which is about 2 hours east of Western.
Okay. And what do you do outside of the Western Herald in your free time, or any I don't know, anything you'd like to share?
I spend a lot of time reading and watching TV. I'm a very avid media consumer. Kind of goes along with the writing and radio, but I love content. I love learning what's new out there. I will take recommendations from anyone, and I live with some of my best friends. We do lots of goofy stuff together, and basically wherever we are, we're just hanging out, and it's a good time.
Awesome. And Eddie, can you tell me where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Huntington Woods, Michigan. It's a little bit further east than Cori. It's about 2 hours and 30 minutes east of here.
Is that still in Michigan?
Yeah, Huntington Woods, Michigan. Yeah, it's like 20 minutes northwest of Detroit, downtown.
Oh, okay. What do you do outside of the Western Herald? Any hobbies, activities, or just whatever you'd like to share?
As my title goes, I'm just a lover of sports. Really passionate about football. So that season's starting up here. So that's most of the time on the weekends you can find me just watching football. But I love just being with my friends, going out and just being with people, just having a good time.
And leading into that, I'd like to get to know more about your positions at the Western Herald. Can you tell me what your positions are?
The editor-in-chief, which means I basically oversee the day-to-day operations of the Western Herald and kind of make the big decisions over there. And I get to work with my super lovely team of editors and reporters.
I'm the sports editor, so I just oversee the sports section, kind of do what Cori does, except more specific towards the sports section, and I get to work with my writers, my reporters, to get all the sports content, and then with Cori and the other editors to get everything done.
Awesome. And for people who don't know what the Western Herald is, can you tell them what it is, what you guys do, and why do you guys do it?
The Western Herald is the student-run newspaper on Western Michigan University's campus. We work super closely with WIDR as the radio entity for that. We're part of the student media group. We have an editorial board of about 9 people right now that make editorial decisions, and we have a bunch of staff writers and photographers that write for us and turn in some super awesome content. Basically, we just uplift like the voices of other students on campus. We share what they're doing. We give people news about campus ongoings, sports, arts. We take some really cool photos at all of the campus events. And we're really just like a source for Western news.
Awesome. And what drew the both of you to the Western Herald? What got you involved, and what's keeping you around?
So really what got me to the Western Herald was our former editor-in-chief, Ben Epstein. He's a friend of mine from in high school, and when he was the sports editor, he reached out to me and asked me if I would come and write for him, and I thought it would be a fun time, and so I started writing, and very quickly I just kind of fell in love with the Herald and writing and getting my name in the newspaper and the fulfillment in that. So I just kind of naturally enjoyed being at the Herald and loved sticking with it.
Awesome. And Cori, what about you? What drew you to the Western Herald, and what's keeping you around?
Yeah, so those who listen to the Western News Review, I have a more in-depth explanation of how I got here. But long story short, I took a newspaper class in high school, really liked it, came to Western as an undecided major. I had a journalism class where a professor told me to join the Western Herald. I was at my very first Western Herald meeting during my very first week at Western. I was a staff reporter for about a year, then I became a lead reporter, then I became the news editor, and then when Ben left last year, he handed over the reins to me, and now I'm the editor-in-chief. So I kind of made my way through all the ranks. I absolutely love journalism. It's now my major, and it's just a super important part of my life. So I'm glad I got to follow that whole journey.
Mm-hmm. And for anyone who's not really familiar with the structure of newspaper or news organizations, or at least the Western Herald, I can't speak for every news organization. Would you say it's more like hierarchical, like there's more of a hierarchy of like, oh, you start here and then you move up, or are the positions kind of open to anyone and anyone can kind of just jump in and start?
I would say it definitely helps to get a position if you've been here for a minute and we've at least like seen an article or a photo or two that you've put out there. You are able to jump around. Like you don't have to be a lead reporter or photographer before you become the editor of that section. It does help to like have a standing here and the rest of the editorial board to like get to know you in order to get a position, but it's not a requirement to like rise through the ranks or go step by step the way that I did. I'm not sure, Eddie, were you a lead reporter before?
Yeah, so I started as a lead reporter before I was the editor, and just kind of to bank off of what you said, a lot of the positions open up quite often, so it is important or it helps to have that prior experience. Like Cori said, you don't need it or you don't necessarily need it, and you can jump into any position really if you're qualified.
People graduate, they get other jobs. The Herald's like meant to be a stepping stone for journalism students who want to get their work published somewhere before they get out into the working world. But you also don't have to be a journalism major in order to be a part of the Herald. We have some political science people, psychology, sociology, sports management, really anyone who has a passion for writing or a passion for anything else and would like to write about it is totally welcome to join.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you'd like to share with someone who's interested in participating in your RSO or would like to write for the Herald or do comics or photography positions? Am I correct?
Yes, staff photographers and then assistant and editor photographers. I guess I would just like to say it's so easy to get involved. It literally takes like a text or an email to one of the editors and we will hit the ground running with you and help you develop those skills you need.
Yeah, I guess I would just say that if you're at all interested, then just give it a shot. And if you like it, great. If you don't, then that's all right as well. But it can turn into something a lot more for you if you do enjoy it.
You can also learn more information about them by visiting our website at widrfm.org under the original series tab. I would like to thank you two both for coming on to this episode of Get to Know an RSO. And to the listeners at home, come back soon to learn more about ways to get involved on campus at Western Michigan University.
Thanks for having us, Dan.
Thank you.